Hello and welcome to video number 3 to support the series of blog posts we're putting out this week, which are designed specifically to advise employees rather than employers. We thought that most of the advice coming from law firms was directed to employers, and they get enough of a helping hand as it is, so we wanted to try and put something out for employees too, and we hope you're finding them useful. Previously, we've dealt with health and safety at work, obviously of crucial importance, and in our last blog post and video, we talked briefly about the furlough scheme, or to give it its proper name, the coronavirus job retention scheme. Now, one of the things that the blog post in particular talked about in connection with the scheme was the importance of reaching an agreement with your employer. The absolutely fundamental point is that unless there is an express provision already in your contract, which is probably unlikely, your employer can't force you to go on furlough, nor can it force you to accept only 80%, or if you're better paid than £37,500 a year, £2,500 per month. Your employer can't force you to take a reduction in pay. Both the furloughing scheme and any reduction in pay requires your consent. Now, what we also looked at in the blog post is the practicalities of the fact that you may not really have a huge amount of choice in accepting, because unless you accept, you could lose your job altogether, and that's not the best outcome necessarily. But it may be, and there may be reasons why you're unwilling to accept. So what we look at today in the blog post is, what are your rights if you decide you don't want to accept? What can you do about it? Well, the answer is that there are steps you can take. They won't be free, but there is litigation you can pursue. You can choose to resign and claim constructive dismissal if you're not paid properly. You may choose to go to court to claim unpaid wages. Those remedies are not without their own difficulties and challenges, but they are available, and what we do is we explore those in a bit more detail in the blog post. So please go and read the blog post, and if you have any questions, pop us an email. What we'll be doing all week is collecting all the questions we get by email, and at the end of the week we will do our best to pull together a single document which addresses all of those questions. So please read the blog post and pop us an email with any questions, and then check back for the rest of the blog post, the rest of the week, and in particular, of course, at the end of the week for the final document with all the questions that we've had and our attempt to answer them. Thanks very much for listening. Bye-bye for now.